Hi, I'm Chris, and today we're going to go over a short how-to video on how to apply some highway bars to your bike. The particular bars that I'm doing today is the Lindby Bar, and the bike that I'm using is my 2006 Suzuki Boulevard. It does have some modifications, but none that would change how we actually apply these highway bars. So here are the highway bars. There's some different types of Lindby bars, especially for the different types of bikes. The main focus that you'll have on here that actually distinguishes this bar are the corners up top. So they do have some just regular round ones, then others some rounded corners, but where this has the pitch on that 90-degree angle up top, that's what separates this. So there are different models, so just be aware of that when you're watching this video. Now, first thing we're going to do is just slide this into place. So I want this under my bike, ready to go. And as you'll see, we're also using the Power Zone motorcycle lift. I have it under the bike right now. It can support up to 1,700 pounds, as it shows right there. And all you do is step on the actual hydraulic pedal right here, and then this little lever right here is the one that actually releases it and lowers the bike. It does have a safety clip here, so that's something that we're very interested in when we're going to be down here unrounded, especially if we're doing oil changes. So this is the bike, those are the bars right there. The bars actually came with a couple bolts. It just comes with 2 bolts, 2 washers, and 2 spacers. So we'll grab those and we'll get started. The tools that you're going to need for this are going to be what we have laid out right here. So the only actual tool that I had to have was the 14mm wrench, and that's what I used to take off the old bolts, and to apply the new ones it fit both the bolts that came with the Lindby Bar as well as the bolts that were currently on the bike that I had to remove. Due to the modifications we had to make on the bike for the Lindby Bar to fit into place, I did have to use a grinding tool, so I just used a Dremel with a grinding bit on top, and I just grinded the space back just a little bit, not very much, in order to get that Lindby Bar back in place. With that, we also used the safety glasses just to make sure we were safe and didn't get any fragments in the eye. One thing that I'm going to point out before we get started here is on this particular side of the bike, the right hand side, as you're sitting on it, we do have a stopper that's in it. So we do have the place that the bolt is actually going to go into for this top slot, but there is no actual bolt in there. So all we have to do is pull out that rubber stopper first, and then we can move up our bars and get them into place. So these are the bolts that come with it. It's about 2 inches long. And so that'll just go right into the slot right there. So it's nice smooth fit. So we'll just move the bar up into place and get that going. The other place that this is going to connect will be your front bolt that connects your peg assembly. So we'll have to remove that bolt, and then on the other side there is a bolt up here, so we'll have to remove the bolt up top and the bolt for the peg assembly as well. After all those are removed, we can put this up and slide the bolts in place. So we have just slid both of our bolts in place. We removed the one on this left-hand side as you're riding the bike, and the other one didn't have a bolt in place. So we just put these 2 top bolts in place. Now the bottom ones are not hooked in yet, but we just did that so it would be loose and in place, so that we could easily put them in on the bottom. So now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wrench, take off these 2 bottom bolts right here on either side, as you can see. So I'm going to loosen that, take those off, and then slide my bottom bolts into place. So I'm going to use, being that this kit only came with 2 bolts and 2 spacers, I'm going to use the existing bolts that are already in there for this one. So we just have to slide that in place. What you will see here is we do have the bolt, the washer for my particular bike. Then I have the actual Lindby Bar frame, and there is a spacer back here, so we did have to apply the spacer for this bike. So we have that bolt, washer, Lindby Bar, and there's a spacer on this side. So one problem that I'm running into right now is I was able to, these 2 bars down here that are going to secure it to your frame, they're too close together for this boulevard right now. So what I had to do is I had to put this one kind of overlapping this junction right here, the point, and I had to spread the bars just slightly. It was only probably about half a centimeter or so. It wasn't very large at all. So I did finally get that on and it's in place. So we were able to scooch this one far enough back and actually get the bolt in with no problems. However, on the other side, the problem that we're running into right now is the frame where it has the round cutout for the bolt isn't big enough to allow for the actual frame for this piece to sit back into place and allow for that bolt to actually go in straight. So it might go in a little bit crooked, but that's not what we want because you don't want to thread those or cross thread those bolts. So most likely what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to grind down this space a little bit, opening it up and allowing me to scooch this bar back and actually get that bolt in there as it should be. Alright, so now we have the bars on. So this is the bike. I have that side view right here. So again, we connected it right up here, right up top, and right to the frame, and then also down here where the foot assembly attaches. So that's the side view. If we turn it to the front right here, then this is the front view of the bars. So they do have the O-rings for nice grip up there. Perfect assembly. I'm about 6 foot tall. Have those forward controls right there. So that is perfect length in order for me to rest my feet on there while going on the highway or just on nice leisurely cruises. So it's great. Avoids all of my controls and everything. Still gives me enough room to maneuver them. Looks really great. Those nice sharp 90-degree corners, great quality product. Lindby Bar is the Lindby Bar. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. If you had any additions or problems with your bike when installing this, you can also submit that, let me know, and I'll try and add that to future edits of this video so that everybody can have a better idea of how this will be installed for their bike. Thank you. DIY with Chris, giving you the tools to do it yourself. DIY with Chris, giving you the tools to do it yourself.